without the video then.
Yeah. Kimberly.
Hi.
So we're live. I hope. It, it was working fine last night, and all of a sudden all these complications, and I'm echoing in my ears. Do you hear
Oh,
me all right?
I hear you fine. I don't hear echo.
Okay, very good. Let's hope for the best.
Yeah.
Hi LinkedIn and YouTube. This is Candice from Design in Focus, and today I'm speaking with Kimberly Snoyl. So crazy.
Loyal. Yeah.
I'll just take this off when I'm speaking.
Mm.
And we're in this session in human experience. And this is my first live session, so please bear with me. Over to Kimberly, the experienced UX designer, who will be talking today about the human experience.
Yes, I hope it will go better this time. We did this already, but the sound wasn't recording. So we're gonna do it again, and I'm hopefully better prepared. I'm trying to get a tiled layout, but it doesn't work. But I think then that's fine. Okay. Hi. What was the question? Should I just start talking about why I'm here?
Let's talk about the human experience and what it means to you, and why you came to speak with me.
Okay, so yeah, the human experience, as I already told also in my intro video, it's actually about being human, as we all are. And I actually have a recent example. Last Wednesday, I had a presentation at Test Jam conference, and afterwards, I felt really insecure somehow. And I think we all have this. We're having this live stream now, trying to figure out the new technologies and trying to make it all work. And we can all make mistakes, and I have to remind myself all the time that's fine. And I got positive, and I got positive reactions and also improvements. And one of the positive reactions was really, really great because there was one woman who came to me after my presentation and she said, "Thank you so much for giving this presentation. It really inspired me because you're a woman like me. And I also have a lot of ideas, and somehow I always see that they're not perfect, that it's not ready yet, and that's why I don't do anything with them. But you've inspired me to, to just do it because I see you there, and I feel that I can do it as well. And this is why I keep keep just putting myself out there and being bold, even though it can be really scary sometimes.
Well, that's the thing. It's like we have visions of what we think perfect is. And we have these conceptual ideas. So we give names, words, and we have meanings for them. But certain things aren't names that are physical things. It's just conceptual. And these are the ideals we live by. It's conceptual. We have the shared image,
Yeah.
but there's nothing tangible about it. And so a lot of it relies on the mind behind it, and our minds are always sort of changing, and our environments are changing, and we have to adapt, especially when you're in design, because tools, fashion, all of that constantly you have to be aware of, right?
Yeah. Yeah, true. Yeah, you have to. That's also a course I did last week. We have a mental model of things, of everything around us, and we have to keep changing this mental model with new information we get. Yeah.
Yeah. And as a UX designer, you work a lot with the mind, right? Like the behavior, and it's just something you have to know.
Yeah.
Do you like behavioral science, and how do you apply that to a design or a creative output?
Yeah. Well, of course, I also studied human media interaction and also artificial intelligence, cognitive artificial intelligence, where it was a lot about how the psychology of humans work. Yeah, so I think the most important thing right now, because of course there's a lot of information out there about how people's minds work. But I think nowadays we're a lot busy with biases, right?
Yeah,
That we know and also what you say, a picture of what things need to be like, but also what we think is the norm. And we all have this in our minds, and I think it's very good that lately I see a lot of talks about in all disciplines, because I'm in UX but I'm also in testing, and in both disciplines where I go to conferences, I see talks about biases. And that's really important that you are aware of them, because I have them, you have them, we all have them. But it's good to be aware that it is there, and that we try to suppress our primary reactions to things, not be this how do you say impulsive,
Yeah,
but try
yeah.
to wait. Okay, wait a minute, aren't my own biases playing a role in my reaction here? Are the things that I'm thinking about my users, am I sure they're not all the same, and I should really test with all different kinds of users? And also, you have these biases that are really important nowadays, and you hear a lot about, but also neurodiversity, which is also one of
Yeah, yeah.
that UX, and it plays a role in my daily life as well. That, for example, you have a lot of different applications for the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You have different banks. You have different music streaming videos. So many different applications who actually do the same thing, which actually do the same thing. And then sometimes I wonder, why are there so many different applications? Isn't it easier for me to have one to go?
Yeah,
But it's not
yeah.
only because people want to make money, but also there are so many different kinds of people who have different needs, and also feel more safe or more attracted to one type of
Yeah,
application,
yeah.
and another person would be attracted to another type. So it's good that there's so many, there's such a great variety,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
maybe it should be more clear what application is for who. Hmm.
I was just thinking. I had this thought train this morning, and you know, how many designers are there? I still have to go and research it. But if you just take the people who use Photoshop or creative tools, how many are there? And then you look, how many design apps are there? Photoshop. It's like in every other area, you get millions of apps for everything, and then you get to design, and you're forced into Adobe. That's kind of completely
Monopoly.
counter. Yeah,
Definitely,
it's
yeah.
yeah. I think the designer experience is a lot different from the average human experience. Just because our field seems to change so much. I can't the sound is terrible on my side.
Oh.
Yeah. So you've been into design, or like you've been busy with different fields in design for a long time, or
Yeah.
quite some time. What is the most valuable thing to you?
Different fields in design. That's the most valuable thing.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
yeah, research. I think I don't know if that's what you mean, because we have design, but we have research. What I'm involved in mostly is research and design, as in prototyping and testing. Um, and I know visual design is not my cup of tea. And I'm just starting out, right? So I haven't really maybe properly introduced myself.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, good.
but I have just studied human media interaction, so I did a interaction design background, and afterwards I started working as a tester, a software tester at Capgemini. So I've worked as a tester from 2014 to 2020, and then in 2020 I started mixing these roles, testing and UX, and then for I think from last May, so not really that long, that I'm focused on UX research mostly only. And what I have noticed in my career is that in my short career as a UXer, is that when people think about or ask me, what are you doing? I'm a UX designer, also my team, they think I will just design something. I will just draw something and have a prototype ready, like a prototyper. They think I'm just a prototyper. And it actually just started also when I was a designer at a low code project, um, which goes really fast. So I started, they needed screens and they wanted me to just make the screens. but I wanted to know, okay, who are my users? And then I got the secondhand information from somebody who already did some research. But yeah, I wanted to talk to the people, So that's what each time I have this feeling like I want to know more about my users. I want to see them work. Then I really know that UX research is really my passion, or the core of UX for me. And I think it's important to be able to prototype or make designs and drawings. So I try to exercise my drawing skills with different courses there are, and just when I'm having a video conversation, just draw the person I'm in. So just trying to just exercising. And prototyping, I'm getting better at now. It's almost 2 years, so I'm working in Sketch and in Axure, and that's really old, but still it works well in my situation. Um, yeah, and I see that's a skill that really needs improvement, and also research. My research skills, of course, can always be better improved, but it's most important for me, and the most fun to do. I also see that when the research phase is done and we're busy with development, and I'm more with the development team and back and forth trying to figure out if the designs are feasible to be built, then I really miss the research phase.
So research is your core. That's your passion. Right. That's very cool. I think what I use research for the most, or what I find the most value in research is that it interprets other parts of UX. For example, empathy. There's no way a person just knows how everybody feels and what everybody likes. So you have to do that research so that you can gain that insight into the person, because the best designs are also the designs that talk to people, that resonate with people, right?
Mhm.
And research is to go to that.
Yeah, and you can only get so far with empathy, right? So it's really
Yeah.
getting to know your users, and being open to things you wouldn't have thought about yourself.
Yeah. Well, that's also the design process. Like when I studied multimedia, we always had to sort of we had to kill our own style and create a style based on the objectives. I think everybody thinks they're a designer. Everybody thinks they know what's good looking. And everybody has their own interpretation of what appealing is. And so even if you're so talented creatively, if you don't have that knowledge of who you're dealing with and what they find appealing, then you're fighting a losing battle, right?
Yeah. I think that's really a very difficult uh, uh, a subject within UX, because UX stands for user experience. So if a product should be appealing, so people should like it, like to work with it, but for me, how it looks is the least important of UX for me, because I would like to know, how do they use it? Do they understand what they see? Can they find everything? Is it accessible? But
Yeah.
if it looks with rounded corners and stuff, yeah, I don't know. It's less important to me, I see. But of course, when it doesn't look good, I see it, of course.
Yeah.
But it's less important than, oh, is it a really nice color, nice branding? It's because I'm not very skilled at that yet.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm first do more of the research part. Yeah.
Yeah, I quite value the. I'm a very sensual person, so I like things that sound great, looks great, tastes great, and for me that's more that gives me the light. That's the best experience for me.
Yeah.
So I think just a different perspective. Can you talk a little bit about what you're doing and how you're keeping yourself busy and how you maintain that as a person with all your responsibilities?
Yeah. Well, I'm the organizer of Ladies at UX in Utrecht. So I started that community, and we're also streaming now to the YouTube of Ladies at UX Utrecht. I hope it works. I will still have to see afterwards, because it's the first time I'm streaming like this. Um, And this Ladies at UX is a global a community actually, which exists in over 80 cities all over the globe. And we organize monthly meetups. So that's how we started. Of course, now, yeah, if you cannot host a meetup every month, it's not that you cannot have a Ladies at UX community. But
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
how we started, and this is what the idea of Ladies at UX was. Now we're doing it with a team of I think 5 people now.
Just in
Um,
Utrecht, though.
in Utrecht,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, in Utrecht. And there's also our sister community, Ladies at UX Amsterdam, and they're organizing the meetups in Amsterdam. So this is what I do, and I've been doing this since 2016, so quite a while. And we have our pace, so we know we have our contacts now. We have the meetup is every time it is at another company. Yeah, it really helps you to broaden your network, visit different companies, and learn about these companies. And also, there are presentations and workshops. So we are always looking for speakers and get to know in all these years, 6 years now. Every month a meetup, yeah. Then you get to know a lot of different people and
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
different topics. So it's really, I really like doing this, and it really helped me also when I was not a UXer yet to stay up to date with all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
yeah, developments in the UX field.
That's quite important for younger people to know, right? That
Yeah.
you know, attending meetups is the best way to get started in your career, because you can be the best designer with the best portfolio. If nobody sees it, or if the right people don't see it, you're not gonna get anywhere.
Yeah, especially now as a beginning UX designer, I see so many posts on LinkedIn of people who are just starting out looking for a job and how difficult it is, and it is not an easy battle nowadays. So yeah, going to the meetups, getting help from more experienced designers to review your portfolio, give you tips, but also to expand your network and get to know all these different people who might be able to help you get a job. So yeah, I would recommend it to anyone. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So can you tell us a little bit more about what inspired you to do it, and what you gain as a person
Yeah.
from doing it?
What inspired me to do it was uh, I was in testing, and as a tester, it shouldn't, but usually we come at the end of the process, right? So the design is made, the developers are starting to develop, and however we try to do test-driven development to get testing more to the front, somehow we still can do the best testing when we have the product and we can play with it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I really missed getting, yes, speaking to hearing what the user really needs, the end user, the human, the person who will use the product. And I have done testing for 7 years, and I really was looking for how can we bring UX closer to testing, and why
Yeah,
are there these silos? So then I started to go to UX meetups, or I was looking for UX meetups, and I found the Ladies at UX meetup in Amsterdam because my colleague Roxanne Groeneberg, she was back then organizer of Ladies at UX in Amsterdam. So I went there a couple of times, and I really loved the ambiance, the vibe when I was there.
and
Yeah,
they're
it
great
was,
people as well.
yeah. I don't know what I don't know if I can really describe it, but I just felt welcome. It was not. I also went to other meetups in that time, and sometimes you are at a meetup and you're just standing in a corner. You don't know anybody, and they know each other, so they're all
Yeah, yeah,
chatting. And maybe you walk past the group, and nobody really invites you in.
yeah,
And
yeah.
sometimes you also need to be in a state where you're bold and like, okay, I'm gonna go be interactive and talk to other people. But if you couldn't get yourself there, you just stand in a corner and wait until the meetup starts, and So, and I noticed at Ladies at Drink Amsterdam that the people who organized it were just ladies, just like me. They just come to you, hey, you're new, who are you? They're interested, and then another group comes. So yeah, it was really nice to be there, and you felt seen, and yeah, I really had a good feeling. And I also was inspired a lot because all the presentations were about UX, and I was testing, so I really missed learning about UX. So every time after a meetup, when I was lying in my bed, I had a smile on my face, and it was like I was in love. I was really meetups. And then I thought I have to go to Amsterdam all of the time. I live in Utrecht. It's half an hour by train, but yeah, then you also have to go with a bus to the station and to the meetup. So it takes like an hour or an hour and a half to really travel. And that gave me an idea, like, why isn't there a community like this in Utrecht? We're in the
Yeah,
middle
yeah.
of the Netherlands. We have a lot of companies as well that do UX. We have I imagine we have a lot of UX
Yeah, yeah.
designers. So I asked the ladies at UX Amsterdam if I could also start a UX community in Utrecht, and if I could use their name, or maybe if not, I would make up an own name. And then I didn't even realize that it was a big global community. So
Yeah, yeah.
they sent me to the founders of Ladies That UX, Lizzie and Georgie from Manchester, who started it in 2013. And I really had a video call with them, and they asked me, okay, what do you want to do and why? And yeah, I passed the test apparently. They gave me said, okay, sure, and they gave me the new logo, all the onboarding materials, and they advised me to find someone else to do it because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
do it alone. It's a lot of work. And apparently there was also someone else, Irina Lutijn, who also had the same idea of starting a UX community in Utrecht. So we found each other at the Nielsen and Norman conference. She happened to be there, and she
Oh,
recognized me. Oh, aren't you Kimberly? Yeah, that's how it all started, and yeah, we started. So that's what was the question? Oh yeah,
yeah,
what
yeah.
inspired me, right? Yeah, 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 that's what I saw in Amsterdam. I also wanted to bring to Utrecht, and my mission or vision was to bring the entire UX community in Utrecht together. So to get all the companies in Utrecht to bring them together and make them also see what are you doing in which different companies, what can we learn from each other, to
Yeah,
also bring the
yeah.
community together, and yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
have a and grow as a UX
Yeah,
as UX
yeah.
professionals in this region.
What
What
really
really
inspires
inspires
me
me
about you
about you
guys
guys
is
is
that all of
all of
you
you
sort of do this out of your own
time,
your
your
own
own
accord.
accord,
And
and
some of
some
this
of
can
this
get
can
quite
get quite
complicated,
complicated,
especially if
especially
you're
if you're
doing it every month,
finding
finding the
the
location,
location,
communicating, all of that. You're a mom as well. How do you balance that all?
Yeah, well, it actually grew. I started in 2016. I don't even remember how I did it because I also had my son in December 2015. So I actually don't remember how I did it. But my son, he was really sleepy. He Now it seems he had development. How do you say ontwikkelingsachterstand in Dutch? He was
Yeah, yeah.
behind on his development, so he was sleeping the first couple of months. He was really easy child. So I think that's it. Because my second child was a nightmare. So I was thinking, how did I do it? But now I remember my first
Yeah, yeah.
child wasn't a real challenge for me. It was like, okay, he's sleeping all the time. Smile at me, wake up, and then I just started doing other things. So I think that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how I do it now with two children, it gets more complicated because they grow. And the logistics get also more complicated because they have to go to school, then they have to go to football, soccer, and it's there's more going on than when
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
smaller, I think. Because then they would just went to daycare, and you could leave them there later on. And I have to say, I also have my mother
Oh.
who helps with the children, my parents-in-law who help with the children, and they are getting older now, and you see that it's getting more difficult for them. So yeah, we had our schedule, which really helped. And I am not diagnosed, but I think I do have some ADD or ADHD, because I'm really also always really full of energy, and
Yeah, yeah.
need somewhere to release that energy. So
It's
yeah,
amazing because
it,
a lot of people are
it's really
searching for
positive.
energy.
Yeah. I think if you really like something, and I think you have this with the design and focus, when you are really passionate about something, it gives you a lot of energy, and you can't stop. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know you're working through the night. So yeah, this is what I had. It was like, okay, wow, we find speakers, topics. I wanted to learn, and then yeah, it just happens. And of course, we have the team. I'm not doing it all alone. So yeah, I don't
Well,
know. it just works when it's meant to be, maybe.
Yeah. Well, it's just I find it truly remarkable. Sorry. I find it truly remarkable because it's a global chapter. There's over 80 countries. And each country has at least one chapter, at least one, but some have got many more. And all of these people are investing their own time, their own energy. So whenever I question, I've had a very challenging last decade. And last year this time, I wasn't speaking to anybody. My windows were closed. I didn't leave. I couldn't face a person because of stuff that happened. And when I started engaging with people like yourself, the first was Amsterdam, and through the ladies at UX Amsterdam, I came across you. But seeing what you're doing and that there are still people who actually care and still actually have passion that just inspired me to come back out of my shell and just it's quite fantastic. So I just want to say thank you, and that's also why you've been nominated for one of the quality awards, the CID Quality Award. But you've been winning awards quite a lot, right? And you're busy with one right now.
Yeah, right now. Yeah, thank you so much for the nomination. I almost felt, how do you say, I wanted to hide because I already won the other award, and it was also, yeah, winning an award. It's so weird. Who can say I won an award for testing or for this community building? I felt like I was on the Oscars. But yeah, it's really cool. The other award I won was the Rising Star Award for software testing. So it is Eurostar. It's the biggest European software conference in Europe. And this Rising Star Award exists not very long, since 2018. And they started this award. They already had awards for best paper or what is the other one? Best contribution in the software testing field, And those awards were won by people who were very long in the field and had time to make these contributions. But then I think, the organization saw that they had to stimulate the younger people as well. So this award came to stimulate innovation in tech, actually, not only in software testing, if I can believe the website. So in 2018, Sanne Visser won the Rising Star Award, and then she came to work at Capgemini where I work. So I got to know her, and I saw she was a person just like me. So I think that inspired me. When I saw the call for the new Rising Star Awards of 2022, I happened to be also in a guild, UX guild or UX testing guild. And we were working on a project to automate UX testing or usability heuristics. I can also tell you about this later on. But I happened to have this idea. I was working on it already. And okay, I have an idea. It's innovative. So I just sent it in. I thought, YOLO, if you don't try, you don't know. And there were 7 other people who sent in their ideas, or 6 other people. I think we were in total 7. And I just went to the conference because I was speaking. My normal presentation was selected as well, even though it was declined a few years earlier. And this Sanne is my colleague, so she said the call for paper is how do you say it's just more time for a call of papers because they didn't have enough call. I don't know. So I thought, okay, let me just try it again. They probably won't pick my paper anyway. But then I was selected. So I went to the conference in Copenhagen. It was really nice to see all these like-minded people as well there. And at the award show, they called my name. So I had to go up there and really see the award. It's downstairs. I should have brought it. But this was an award for this idea. Should I tell you more about this idea?
Yeah. From a personal perspective, what like how it ties into the human experience.
Well, if you look at it from a human experience perspective, I could maybe say the tester experience perspective, because I was a software tester, and or am, because I still have all this experience. And during my career, I of course was looking from the UX perspective, because I am a UXer by heart, right? And I was doing these software tests, as I already mentioned, and I saw, why are we only focusing on functionality?
Yeah, yeah.
And if I had a UX bug and I went to the product owner, he would say like, yeah, okay, it works now, this is nice if you could improve it, but let's put it on the backlog, and we'll see if we ever have time to do it. And of course, we never have time, because functionality is always more important. So I noticed this, and I noticed also that after a while, it was hard for me to keep bringing in those bugs, even though I'm a UXer by heart. So this is actually really weird. That after a while, I just thought UX was maybe less important. I don't know what happened there, but I was trying to find a way to make UX more important for testers. So
Yeah,
how
yeah.
come testers don't know a lot about UX? How come functionality is more important, and they don't get time to do the UX tests? And of course, one of the reasons is the business doesn't find it very important always. But also, I noticed that we hadn't. I have the experience as a former interaction design student, but a lot of testers don't really have experience
Yeah,
with
yeah.
UX, and to know how to test it. So I was looking at this profile of a tester, and I was thinking, okay, what can we do to help them to gain more knowledge on UX? Because I think UX is important in every phase of product
Yeah,
development,
yeah.
right? So
Exactly.
you design, during the development, don't forget to think about the end user as well. And afterwards, you can do the Google Analytics and stuff. But why not during development? So this is something, yeah, it was actually also because of my counselor back then, who saw I had this struggle, and she said, I see you have a thought. Find your thought, put it in words. And it took me like 1 or 2 years. Thought, what thought? I didn't understand what she meant. But she signed me up also for a thought leadership program. So in this program, I learned to put my thought into words and to present on conferences and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is also really also very important. Somebody needs to see something in you and needs to open a door and inspire you, or
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, makes you see something in yourself that you
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
wouldn't have seen if they weren't there. So that's also very important. Okay, so my thought then was, UX testing should be done in agile teams, and how can we do it? So I started presenting also in Ladies at UX Utrecht. I did my first presentation just to try. It's a safe space, so you can just try it out and they can give you feedback. So I came up with this in this meetup. We came up with a list, and one of these items on the list was using the 10 usability heuristics, but also, for example, using personas in your
Yeah,
user
yeah.
stories. So not saying as a user or as I don't know, but saying as Candice, I would like to do this functionality, and then Candice, and oh, she loves good design, so don't forget to
Yeah,
to
yeah.
make it appealing to her. Um, but the heuristics is also one of them. um I'm forgot where I was going with my story, because I have so many places I want to go.
Yeah, I think you were talking about what
Yeah,
motivated you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did these talks, and then one time I was interviewed during Agile Online Summit. I went to a lot of conferences and did my talk, and there was the person who interviewed me, Neil Killick. He said, "Hey, these heuristics is a really good idea, and they're really it's not. I didn't come up with heuristics, of course, but the using the heuristics of Nielsen as a checklist for testers,
Yeah,
because they
yeah.
love structure. They really want to know. Okay, check, check, check. I tested this. Next, they don't want to swim. Oh, how am I going to test it? So he said, this is a really good idea, and maybe you could also can't you automate these heuristics? And my answer was, oh, and I had to think about it for a while. But then I thought, normally people say that UX cannot be automated because it's subjective.
Yeah, yeah.
For you something might be appealing, but for someone else it might not. And that's why it's really my new presentation is also called Mission Impossible, because a lot of people think UX automation and UX don't go together.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
because of this comment of this Neil, I thought these rules, these 10 heuristics, they are always the same for each application. So isn't it possible somehow? So we dove into it, and yeah, learned on how can it be possible. And yeah, I think it can be possible. I'm not sure it exactly every step, but I think we have a start on
Yeah,
finding the
yeah.
elements on a page and identifying them as part of a heuristic. And I have to say, not everything can be automated. But my goal with this idea is to automate the things that can be automated. So you help the tester a bit because they're already in an agile team, you have to test really quickly. So you already help them a little bit. And the rest of the application is informing them about the things that cannot be automated. So
Yeah, yeah.
you actually teach them about UX and what's the best way to do it. And yeah,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's really important because there's not a lot of information out there. There is
Yeah,
some,
yeah.
but it can be better.
Yeah, yeah. My field is more the visual UX. I've done some testing, at one job, whenever I created something, I would send it to colleagues who would then test it. So that's my scope of testing. You work in it as a professional, or you worked in it as a professional. Can you talk a little bit about the notions of testing and why you do it and why that's important for design?
Yeah. Well, testing is actually, as I already said, it starts within product development, and it's verifying if the requirements are met. So the developer makes software, and you check, okay, the requirements are it should be you should be able to I don't know order a book on this website. But it's a very big requirement. But there are requirements, and you check, okay, check these requirements. This application, how do you say it in English?
Matches the
Complies,
criteria.
yeah, complies or matches the requirements. So that's actually in basics what you do. There are different techniques to do it, and it can be very technical that you also look at all the different test cases, all the different scenarios you can do. And this actually also brings me to scenarios.
Yeah, yeah.
Scenarios we also use in UX, and I myself am still learning to get all the different scenarios as well when I'm designing.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is also a very great way for testers and UXers to work together in a team. We're actually trying it in my current team now, because I'm working a lot with the business analyst or information analyst, and I'm working with developers when they are trying to make my code and they have my design and they have questions. But I don't have a lot of uh, how do you say pre-scripted meetings with the testers. Like, okay, we need to meet
Yeah,
because
yeah.
just when they see my design, they can give feedback. But now we do have an extra meeting. I see them every week now. It's like, okay, this is my design. How will you test it? Do you have questions? Because it's really important for testers and UXers to work together.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
it's in testing. That's actually what you do. You're testing the application, trying different scenarios. You're trying to use it as a user would, and you're trying to break it. What if I do weird things? Will it still? Does it still stand the
Yeah,
application?
yeah. I think that journey mapping is sort of another word for it. And having these user stories, I'm busy with a couple now myself. But what I always question myself is, when you think for somebody else and you're imagining how they would do it. I've encountered people who I could never imagine that a person could think like that. And so how do you get into mindsets?
Yeah. Yeah, that's difficult. And actually, as a tester, you don't really do that because that's what I also miss, right?
Oh yeah, oh
Testing it
yeah.
as a user would, testing it as different users. What you do as a tester, you do random testing.
Okay,
So
okay.
you random.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have a scenario. You have your scenarios. You do okay. I want to in this I have to test this form. So I'm gonna fill everything in, press send. That's a happy flow, right? This is how
Okay,
it's gonna
okay.
go. But some people also want to go back in the form or for that's also normal functionality, but it also needs to work. And you test all the validations. Are there when I press the send and nothing is filled in yet? Is are all the validations popping up? So that's all the normal testing you do, of course. It's first thing you do, empty form, send. Does it work? Where I see the validations. But you can also do this things that you wouldn't do normally. Go back and forth and fill weird dots and stripes, and that you actually learn also with experience that some data is also very important. So email addresses with not only, I don't know if it's even possible, but with different weird characters in them.
Yeah.
Diacrites, I don't know, in Dutch you say diacriten, with special characters.
The special characters.
Yeah. So you do things that you wouldn't maybe normally think of, but as a tester, you have to think outside of the box. So
Yeah.
I have very weird combinations, different things, which maybe as you are if you are using it as an intended, you wouldn't think of. But
Yeah.
forget there are also people who might not understand, or maybe there's a situation where the I don't know the screen blacks out and they come back and they press a button which is not normal intended use.
Yeah.
Happen. So think about all these things that can happen when people are interacting with your product. Do you have it covered? All these five
Yeah.
errors, 400 errors. How do they look? Do people know how to get back?
But sometimes errors are planned, right? Like you to get a reaction.
Well, not in my experience, but I know that there's kind of I don't know anyone want to say kind of testing, but it is testing, but not the testing we're talking about right now. But for example, there is a button. Do you want to know more about design in focus? Press this button, and when you press it, there's nothing there. But they want to know how many people click on this button.
Yeah.
They want to know how many people click on this button. Then they get feedback. So that's the only thing I'm actually thinking about when you say
Right.
that the weird things are supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But from a UX,
That's more the UX, I guess. The UX lens.
yeah, I don't know. From a UX perspective, it's good to inform your users. We just put this button here just to see how many people click it, but not like
Yeah.
making the users think, okay, I click the button, I don't see anything. What is this? You don't want your users to be confused. So yeah, it should be in a good manner.
I think with UX, there's a big call to look at the business goals. That is like a third of UX. So our river is a bit different than maybe testing. But if I could give you an example, I've signed up, or I created this company, and I've created companies before. And so what happens every quarter, you have to send in your finances to the Belastingdienst, the tax authorities. And how it's always gone is you get an email, it's time to do your taxes, fine. And then later you get a letter telling you how much you have to pay. I did this in 2017 when I first started. I did it in last year, and I did it this year. And a couple of months, my last submission, I did the submission, but I never got the letter.
Oh,
So at some point I'm like, I haven't the letter yet. And then I phone them and I tell them, okay, this is the situation. So they say, okay, thanks for letting us know. You just in time. So I'm like, whew. A couple of weeks go by, I get a letter. You have to pay this much because you didn't pay. And I was like, what? So I went and I phoned them. And then they said, okay, fine, we'll take off the fine. You don't have to pay it because we'll send you back the money that you paid.
okay.
And then another 50 euros came off, and I was like, what's going on? So they gave me, they charged me 50 euros for asking them to reduce
Oh,
the 50 euros fine that they gave me. Now, if I did, let's see if I have it here. did the user flow of this, and I did the business case. And so if you look at two things, maybe it's an intentional thing that they're doing, maybe it is a mistake, right? Now, if it's a mistake, let's start with the mistake. If it's a mistake, then they make a mistake. Oh, where did you go? Kimberly. Kimberly? Oh dear.
So sorry. I'm back.
Are you back?
Yes.
Oh,
It just stopped. I don't know what happened.
I see you, but I don't see myself. That's strange. I think I just... What? Okay, I'm just invisible.
So, oh, I do see you.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Are we still recording?
Yes. It's still recording.
But what was your confusion with the bluffing beans? Where were you?
Anyway, the point is, in scenario 1 where it's a mistake, I pay for their mistake. In scenario 2 where it's not a mistake, it's a very smart business case because I googled it, and 1.1% of Dutch are 1.1 million of Dutch are self-employed, or business people like myself. Now, if you only take 1% of those people, only 1%, and you don't send that later, and you rely on this behavior, this expectation, this journey of a person, you make where is it? I think it was with 550,000 that you win just like that. And that's a lot to do with UX. That's inherently UX, journey mapping, and the behavior.
But that's also ethics, right? Can you do this? And, I don't know. I actually, a bit of a lasting beans. I don't know if they're really doing that or if they're just having bad administrations and it's not really, it's really old organization. They're having to renew their surfaces and the all the applications they're working with. So I hope it's not that they're doing this. I hope they're not doing this on purpose. Let me say that, and let's keep the positive. If people are not bad, I hope so. I don't know.
I think let's not go into the negative because I can. I have a lot of challenges. You were talking about the ethics, and I also interviewed Tina Falba, and she's the founder of the Ethical Design Network.
Mm-hmm.
And I first became. I loved UX in 2015, and I started studying and defining myself there. And then around 2017, the nightmare started coming up because like you said, that ethics, and having enough signed NDA, so I can't discuss. But I know what's been requested of me, and we focus on the positive to avoid dealing with the actual problem. So it continues. But as a person, how do you find balance between what you're capable of and what you're capable of collectively as a professional, and you as a person who are also a person who could be the target of a professional?
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, from my own, how do you say that? My heart, or how I am naturally, I always focus on the positive. Um, yeah, so I try to do that as much as possible, because that helps me just to survive. Just to do everything in life. You focus on the positive things. I don't know if I understand the question, that somebody may be targeting me, or what do you what's the question exactly?
Okay, so I design something to get a behavior,
Yeah.
and I behave as well. And I have been, I've found myself in positions where I looked at my behavior and I was like, why would I do that? That's not me. And then there's all these external forces, and it impacts me as a person. And I know about these things, or I know about some of these things. So a lot of people don't, and that impacts them as well. So having this knowledge, of how certain mechanics work, as a person, it can be. I left the job, for example, once. I was designing sort of clickbait, and I was a single mom in the Netherlands, no support, no people from my own country, nothing. And my kid got clickbaited, and she gave me a bill of 207 euros, which was nearly impossible for me to pay. So I think the personal view is a little bit different than other people. So that's sort of what I'm trying to. Does it make sense?
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. But I don't think I have been in. Okay, I'm to kind of look at only from my personal perspective.
It's your personal experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There are different things. When you were talking, I was thinking about what you were saying, for, how you react to something that's not me. And that part, I'm not sure if I totally understand it, but I was thinking immediately, that sometimes we, in hindsight, think, okay, I should have reacted differently, or should have done something differently. It could also be as a professional, right? You were designing this like big website, and maybe you think, why, that's not you. You shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
I think it's good for myself that I keep, think, how do you say it? I keep, when I, for example, about this conference I had Wednesday, but I felt very insecure afterwards. I just think about, okay, what am I feeling? What did I do? And I can write it down, or just really think about it and take a step back. It's actually what I also learned in my mindfulness courses. Take a step back and just look at what you're feeling, what you're doing, and analyze it. Not over analyzing. But in these situations, we can say, okay, that's not me. I should have not done it. And you learn, and you try to be better the next time, or do something different the next time. So that's the first thing I was thinking about. And then you said the other thing from your own perspective, as a person, that you do not fall for these things, or do you mean something like that?
No. I design something that I don't find value in. So it's something that I've been a victim of. But I worked in that for 3 months before I.
Yeah, I think it's difficult. I haven't been in that situation that I have designed something that I thought, okay, I shouldn't have, or I don't want to.
Yeah.
But I think in the situation itself, we're all human, right? Go back to this whole human experience. You can make mistakes, and if you're in a situation where you feel like you don't have you can't get out of it right now, that's okay. We can make the best of our situation where we are in right now, and how do you say, keep breathing, just to find our way when we are not in that situation anymore.
Yeah.
So that's okay. And then do the same thing as I just discussed. Like next time when you do have a choice,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
take these experiences with you, and you can make a
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
judgment next time. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's, I think, the
That's
morale of today, that you can make mistakes and that's okay. We're
exactly.
all human, and you cannot kill yourself about it, beat yourself up. Oh no, I did that 10 years ago, and yeah,
Yeah.
we're all human, and it can
Yeah.
happen. And
Yeah.
next time we'll do better, right?
And if you're in a situation where you are doing something that you find is a mistake or not right,
Yeah,
look for the better. It's not the end of the world. We are forced into certain things. We have to pay rent. We have to survive.
yeah.
So our jobs aren't always perfect.
Mm.
So I think that was the little bit that I wanted
Yeah.
to add onto it.
Great.
We're running out of time. So I will thank you for yours.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much, and yeah, we'll keep in touch.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Bye. If you've enjoyed listening to this session, please subscribe to us and follow us on social media. Visit designinfocus.org for more information and content. Design in Focus is a labor of love and can use any and all support. If you'd like to help keep us alive, please consider making a small donation.